Hello and welcome, everybody. I got my audio transformed right in time, and he's frozen. No, he's not. To episode 173 of the Immaterial Gamers podcast. My name's Terry,
Hello,
and
I'm Ryan.
there we go. And this is our normal weekly podcast on our normal weekly time for once. It hasn't been all mixed up.
Yeah.
So, we'll start where we normally start with what's been played. And
Yay,
we'll
what's
start
being played? What's
we'll,
being played?
we'll start on the top left like we always do, which is sadly me. It's always me.
Ah,
I gotta
don't
I
worry,
gotta
I've got
change.
plenty of what's being played to talk about here, so.
Yeah, I gotta change. Oh, we got a hello in the chat. Hello, Sapphire's mother or Anne or whatever you want to call you.
Hello.
Um. So yeah,
You,
my brain stopped. Oh yeah. So what's been
yeah, I
played?
know, you got a bit of brain freeze there already.
Um. What have I played this week? I didn't play that much. I played a lot of TFT. I've been enjoying TFT
Oh,
with this season.
you're
Um.
really into gadgets and gizmos, are you?
Hi, Drew. Yes, I'm very much so into gadgets and gizmos.
Mm.
And yeah, I don't think there's much to talk about TFT because we've sort of talked about it a lot, but
Have
I
you tried Double Up?
I have not tried Double Up yet. I was actually gonna think of playing Double Up with you for the podcast, but I never
Ah,
got around to it, mentioning
no,
it.
I was,
Um,
yeah. And I'd finished my blitz runs of Ruin King. Spoilers, that's one of the games I played. Um, and so it was basically eat dinner and then podcast afterwards. So didn't have time for Double Up on there, but you should try Double Up. You should get someone there. Maybe get Steph or Sapphire
I'll probably get Sapphire to do
to
it
go
because
on and have a go.
she's been
It's a
enjoying TFT.
pretty cool mode with its two-headed giant idea. It plays under like a normal pace, so it's not like Hyper Roll. So it'd just be like a normal game. Just it's got a couple of little bits of extras in it,
Yeah,
like the Rune of Allegiance, which means you can put it on a champion and it'll go over to your partners for
yeah.
your
I think after you're done fighting,
uh,
or does it just go
no,
always?
no, the Rune of Allegiance is just you trade a character over
Oh,
from your bench onto
oh, from your bench.
yeah. So you can buy a champion. Let's say for example you're having trouble getting I don't know Chemtech characters. So you're looking for a Warwick to go gold, and I've got that Rune of Allegiance. I can send that Warwick over to you, and any items that are on it will then just go into your like
Oh,
your item inventory.
it'll send them to their bench.
Yeah.
And the items will
So
just
that
go to their item inventory, not even on the unit?
no, they go into the item inventory.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Yeah, definitely
So
had to try
had that
that
because
out.
I was having a test of it with Martin last night. We needed to get it out of the way for the pass quest, so you know made sense to just do it. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's like they have the armory, so there's like two back to back stages where you'll get given a choice of items to gift over to your teammate, and then they get to do the same to you the next round
cool.
afterwards. And then, like you mentioned, the whole idea if you can beat your opponent while your teammate's still fighting, any remaining units that survived will just
Yeah,
teleport over
yeah, whoever's finished
to a
first
delay.
will switch to the other one,
Yeah,
which is kind of sweet.
and then there's just that idea of then
See,
of
that would work really well with me, because a lot of the times
mm,
I build a very tanky team. So I would just hold off for a very long time, and then all of a sudden all these units would appear for my partner, if she wins. Or he
yeah,
wins.
yeah, and just be like, "Hello, welcome. We're here to kick your enemy's ass."
Which would work out really well.
Yeah,
Have I played
you just got
anything
to be
else
careful
this
on
week?
that. It like plays out in kind. Yeah. Anything else?
I don't even know.
You've been messing with Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, I'm actually for Pixie Mama and Drew in the chat. I'm actually trying to set something up for them because they play D&D with us tonight,
Hmm.
and the current way we have it set up is we have uh, the field on a table in my living room.
Yeah.
So they just see a camera of it.
Right.
So they
But
have to
they
sort of estimate, and it's very difficult to figure out distances and stuff. So it's a lot of them trying to figure out what they can do because they can't see it all that well.
but with TTS you could set up a virtual desktop, basically, a virtual table.
Yeah, and they would be able to connect remotely. We would have to. Everybody else would end up being here anyways, so it would be on a big screen that's right in my living
Hmm.
room, and then the DM would just have to have his laptop to stream it to that TV, or I could stream it from my computer to the TV so
Hmm.
that we don't see his view, and then he could
Yeah,
hide stuff in his hidden area.
yeah,
Um, Not that he really hides much from us. He's a pretty open DM, but there
good,
are
good.
some times that he wants to keep some things in the background that we're not really supposed to know about, like sometimes the rules that they make and stuff like that. He doesn't
Yeah,
want us to know. So
that makes entire sense. There does need to be
yeah, if
some
we know
form of
every single
hidden
bit,
information.
yeah, if we know all the information, then it's a little bit overpowered on our part. But
Just a little.
I'm trying to think of. Bye, Martin. Um,
It'll come back.
yeah, he'll be back shortly. Trying to think if there's anything else I've been playing, because that's the only thing I've been doing on that. So it's not really been playing it. I've just
Ah.
been messing around with it. I found some people who have a pretty decent board set up. Some of them are a little bit
Hmm.
too complicated, but I'm thinking of trying to simplify it down. I need to learn how to do a lot of stuff in that because I could see it being very useful, but
Hmm.
it's a little bulky at first.
Yeah, but so as opposed to the sort of dedicated ones that are out there, like Fantasy Grounds, Roll D20,
I was actually going to
or
ask
Roll
you.
20, I think it is.
I was going to actually ask you about some of them too because I know you've done some, and you might know a little bit more about what would be better for a virtual system.
Yeah, there's a few that have come up. I mean, there's one that I've actually been watching. I don't know what the name of the program that they're using, but the Escapist magazine have been doing a D&D campaign, 5th edition,
Well, I
and they got a
just
show called The End Is Nigh. The End Is Nigh. The Adventure is Nigh. The
there
End
was
Is Nigh.
a one that I
That's a bit
seen a
depressing.
Reddit post about the other day. It just popped up on my phone, so I figured I'd try it. Um, it was what was it called? It was called Game Master Engine.
Mm,
And it looked like it was supposed to be pretty simple, but it didn't have decent grid snapping, or I couldn't figure out how to turn it on. Maybe there is decent grid snapping. I didn't play around with it much because, for the most part, my DM likes the very tactileness of doing it with his hands.
mm,
So
yeah.
unless we find one that works really well, um, it's just easier for him to do it with his hands. Um, so I've just been sort of looking around to try to find something to. Yeah, he's old school, as Anne says in chat, which is
Hey,
fine. I'm just looking to see
nothing
if I
wrong with old
can.
school.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help the whole group out because I figure it might be a little bit easier, especially
Hmm.
if there's a time where we, especially if I happen to be at their place or something, so that it's almost
Yeah.
entirely remote. If we're all trying to look at the board, it would be difficult, but if we can actually physically maneuver around the board, it'd be easier. And there's
Mm.
also the yeah. I don't know. I haven't rolled ones very often, but I have very bad. My character can't hit with spells. Well, spells not so bad. I can't hit with any
It's
physical
fine.
hits.
It's
I've been
fine. It's not
terrible.
like you've been microwaving his dice, right?
No, they haven't microwaved my dice yet.
I noticed that you said the word "yet."
Ah,
I
they
may
they've done a lot.
apologize for
They've done a
providing
lot
an
of mean
idea.
things to my character so far, but hopefully that's all in the past now. Yeah, she's about 2.5 hour drive away, so it's a little bit far.
Ah,
But
fair enough.
she does spend quite a
That
bit of
being
time
said,
here.
when the visits happen,
Yeah.
keep your dice safe,
Well,
or know where the microwave is.
yeah. Other than that, I don't think I've played much, so I think.
Woo. Well, do you want to
I'll...
strap yourself in, Terry? Because my God, the past 2 weeks I've played a lot.
All right, well, let's go. Let's see what you got.
All right, let's start. First up, we'll go with the stream games first because they're the ones that everyone's seen. or should see because they're still available on Twitch and on the YouTube at some point as well. Um, two League of Legends story games. So last Tuesday, there was a showcase by Riot Forge. They are the publishing arm of all the single player League of Legends games, so they work with all the other little developers. I say little developers, some of them are
Little
bigger.
developers. They're just itty
Yeah,
bitty developers.
well, the indie developers. It's the idea. It's supposed to be collaboration between Riot and indie developers, so so that they can provide. They'll provide the team that's making a game a character. Like what character do you want to use in a game, and then they'll make the game in their style.
Yeah, which is good for the indie game because they get the name of
Mm,
Riot behind them
yeah, so it
to
absolutely works. So
get
there's
them some advertising, and then
yeah,
they get their name known.
yeah. So there were four that were like showcased. One is called Convergence, and it's a platforming game by a company called Double Stallion, who do platforming games. Tequila Works are doing a game called Song of Nunu, where you get to play as Nunu and Willump. They made oh god, what was it called? Rise, Ryse, because it was like a third-person adventure puzzle about a kid that got lost at sea. Very depressing game, but very good game at the same time. So I've heard. I've not played it. I've watched it, and I enjoyed what I saw. And then two games came out on that Tuesday. One I knew was coming out because I pre-ordered it already, and the other was supposed to be coming out but was delayed. But they just decided, yeah, we've delayed it so long. Available now, and
It's kind of
yeah,
annoying
available
that they
now it
released
was.
on the same time as another game, but
Yeah, it's weird that they competed with themselves. But yeah, the first one was Ziggs's one, Hextech Mayhem, a League of Legends story, made by Choice Provisions. They used to be known as Gaijin Games, and they used to make they make the Bit Trip series of games. You may have seen
okay.
them around on Steam, like Bit Trip Beat and Bit Trip other stuff. And the bigger one that they've got known for recently is the Bit Trip Runner games, and that's what Hextech Mayhem is. It's a rhythm runner. You
Oh,
play as
that's
Ziggs.
your kind of style game.
Yeah, exactly. So you play as Ziggs, and he's just deciding the story is Ziggs wants to just build a bomb because the
That's
character
what Zig
Ziggs just
does.
loves to build bombs. Yeah, he loves explosions and wants to make the biggest bomb, um, so that he can be happy that he's built the biggest bomb. He's being stopped by Heimerdinger, who doesn't want him to do that. But the way you go through the levels is you just there's three controls. There's jump up, bounce down, and throw bomb. And recently, they've now added the ability to map the bloody keys. Because when the
So
game
now,
first came out, you know what the controls were?
what were
It
the
used
controls?
it entirely used your mouse.
Oh,
So initially, if you wanted to jump up, what mouse button would you use?
left click,
Left click. Yeah, perfect. If you wanted to bounce down, what button would you use?
right click.
Middle mouse button.
Oh, I hate anything that forces you to use the middle mouse button.
Yeah. And then you know what bounce down actually was? It's the right click.
Bomb, I'm assuming.
A bomb, sorry, is the right click.
That kind of makes sense. Like, to fire, you'd want either of the two clicks. I thought about that right
Yeah.
after I said the bounce down, but middle click is just, I hate middle click so much. Like, my middle click is
Yeah.
so inaccurate. It's so hard to time it properly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just true. But yeah, so I used the pad because it had pad controls as well.
Probably a
A
lot
to
easier with the
jump,
pad.
A to jump, down on the D-pad to bounce down, and X to throw a bomb.
Oh god. That's confusing.
But wait, there's more. There were hidden keyboard controls. Space to jump,
Okay.
S to bounce down, K to throw the bomb.
I can see that. It would be nice to know the K was the fire button.
Mm,
Like I can sort of see that because your left hand can handle the other two
yeah,
pretty
I
comfortably.
guess. But
but
you know,
and
it
that's
wasn't the
pretty
greatest
normal
key map.
positioning. Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
you'd have to know ahead of time that the K is the fire shot button.
yeah.
It
But
would have
you
been
know, that's
nicer if it
that,
was another button, but
yeah. That was the one small problem in an otherwise fun experience. I streamed that last Thursday and did the whole story in the 2 hour time window. It's a short game, a cheap game and a short game, and it is really fun. It's got replayability as well because of there's prompts that you need to hit to make sure you don't fail a level.
okay.
But there's like hidden prompts as well that if you're listening to the music, you'll know what to hit and watch the game and stuff like that. Once you complete the game, there is a mode where it shows all the prompts, whether they were hidden or not. So you got a sort of a different mode from there, and I like that story. It was cool. May get back to it to try and do high scores and to try and unlock more Ziggs costumes. I mean, by the end of it, I was Ziggs just dressed as Jinx. I mean, they both love
Ziggs.
explosions, so
Yeah, but it's two very different shaped and looking characters.
yeah. But as well, Jinx Ziggs is just it's just as it is. Um, so yeah, and with me watching Arcane recently as well for me and for the channel, it was kind of fun to have.
With your
Um,
4-hour YouTube posts.
don't start,
Those are
don't
long
start,
freaking videos, and you were in there a
don't start.
long time last week.
Speak to Duncan.
Uh,
But so that's there. Second game then was Ruined King, a League of Legends story. The turn-based RPG by Airship Syndicate, who made Battle Chasers Night War, a turn-based RPG. So again, it's not a case of right, we want to work with you to build an entirely new IP starring this character. It's like, what character do you want that can fit within a game style that you can do? Um, and yeah, currently streaming that at the moment. Started that on Friday, and then yeah, I've done a stream every day so far for at least an hour. Yeah, enjoy the little differences of this. General turn-based fare. You attack, they attack. There's an initiative bar at the bottom that lets you know who's attacking next. But
okay.
there's enough changes in it to make it feel a bit different. So like they have this whole idea of boons and hazards.
Yeah, yeah.
So they'll appear on the bar and try and persuade you to do an attack, or to either use an instant attack or a skill shot or whatever, a bigger attack, to try and put your next turn in that bar, or in the form of the hazards, try and set your attack up so your character is not in that bar on the next turn. And then because obviously you don't want to have your character inhale poison mist, for example,
Ah, why not?
because it's poisonous and kills you, ruins you.
Psh, weaklings.
Um, but the other difference that it has from Battle Chasers, the game that it's based off effectively, is they have this lane system. So when you do a non-auto attack, when you do a skill, you can place it in one of three lanes: speed, balance, and power. And obviously, at that point, that determines the effect of the skill depends on how fast you are casting it.
Yeah, and how much damage it deals, or
Yeah. So yeah, I say effects on that because there are healing spells as well that are also affected by the lane system.
okay,
So the potency of the heal depends on whether you put it in speed or power
okay,
or just left it in balance. But that also works then for it. Sort of makes it interesting with some of the mobs. Some of the mobs get sort of like traits or buffs and debuffs that have to be disarmed by doing an attack in a particular lane. So like one of the first ones you come up against is a sailor that says, right, if you kill her before disarming this spell, she'll just explode on you all. But if you do an attack in the speed lane, it disarms it.
okay.
So
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
goes on that. So it does the same as Battle Chase, as though like everyone has health and mana, and then this feature that they call overcharge. So you have a fixed amount of mana. Let's just say you have 100 mana, but you generate overcharge every time you auto attack someone. and then when you cast a skill, it has a mana cost, but it will always spend overcharge before mana.
Okay, so it's like a reserve, like a bonus mana.
Yeah. So it's always on the idea that if you, especially if you're going into longer fights, it makes more sense to charge up your overcharge first, so you're not running out of mana
Yeah.
throughout the fights. The story of it is um, involves well. I feel we've actually been a bit swerved here. I don't want to call it a bait and switch because I'm happy with any of the characters anyway. All the 6 characters that you're going to face in the game going to have in the game are all there. Misfortune was basically shown as the lead character of this, but then you also have Brom, Ilawi, Yasuo, who's a prick, just to go on the idea, Ari, and Pike. As ever a bunch of misfits that could end up being a party in a game
Yeah, that's a very
as
strange.
that. But I say that because the lead character, though, really, for most of the session I've gone so far, is Alawi. They made a whole point of like, Misfortune's the main character of the game, and then she recruits all these people to take on the ruined king of Viego. Note that this game was supposed to have come out during the League of Legends event Sentinels of Light, or it was supposed to arrive beforehand, but COVID fucked it all up.
Yeah, COVID fucked up everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what did COVID not fuck up? Let's be honest.
It fucked up everything.
Yeah, it did. It did. But yeah, enjoying it. I'm gonna keep streaming it until it's done. So basically, any like free hour and a half I have, I'll just
Nice.
go ahead and do it. I'm 39% through the game already, so it shouldn't take too long. It is slightly shorter than Battle Chasers is, so that's something to just take into account there. If you do subscribe to the idea of money, dollars per hour, or that sort of business, I don't subscribe to that. If it's a good quality game, I don't care.
Yeah, well, that's the way I am. Like, I don't want to buy a game that I'm gonna try once and then just quit because that's a waste of money.
Hmm.
But yeah, if I'm gonna enjoy it at all, then it's worth the money. And some
Yeah,
games I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of. Like I've spent a
yeah,
lot of time in some of my games on Steam.
yeah. It's the thing. Like I said, I just don't like you. I don't subscribe to that whole idea of this is a £60 game or a $50 game or whatever. So therefore, it's got to have a minimum playtime of. It's like, nah, not that bothered. Obviously, you don't want it to be a joke. You don't want to be paying. You don't want to be paying $50 for a game that lasts 2 hours. Call of Duty.
I love how your mic followed you down too. Or your
Yeah,
camera.
yeah. I just like that camera just went. Call of Duty. There we are. I love autofocus. Uh, so yeah, that's two of the games. Third game, Shin Megami Tensei 5 for the Nintendo Switch. It came out last week. I'm enjoying it so far. It's as brutal as any other Shin Megami Tensei game. That does remind me that I've not finished SMT 3 for the stream, but needs must. We'll get there eventually. Um, Same as number 3, really, except updated with sparkly new features like the ability to remember what weaknesses enemies are. Should probably explain that. The SMT series of games have a key feature in the way that they do their fights, in that every enemy has weaknesses and strengths in terms of elemental and physical attacks. So the idea is that you, as the player, and your party of people should exploit those weaknesses to gain extra turns. The catch to that is you also have strengths and weaknesses, as does your party, which means the opposing fights have the ability to exploit your weaknesses and gain extra turns.
Okay.
So the whole idea of building your parties for those games is to take into account what you need per fight and to try and plug as many holes as possible when it comes to sort of doing those fights. Did like
That
this?
yeah,
I
that
did like
makes
that
sense.
someone. Yeah, did like that someone has said recently, and I know I fell foul of this. Is that sometimes you get attached to some of the demons in your party, And someone made a point of, no, these demons aren't your friends; they're fodder,
They're
because
fodder.
it has a big fusion mechanic.
I guess I
So you
should have
sort
left
of
that
like
screen up because I'm a lot darker now.
maybe you've there you go. Yeah, so just it has a big fusion mechanic where you can like sacrifice two demons to make a new demon. I
Okay.
don't always necessarily say a better demon, but you
It's
sacrifice
always
two
a better
to
demon.
make a new one. Not always. But yeah, the idea is that you fuse those together, and then you can get skills, to plug in weaknesses and stuff like that. And your main character yourself has the ability to extract essences from other demons, so you can change your resistances on the fly, provided you've got what you need and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying it. Still brutal. Not beat the first boss yet because it kicked my ass the last time. I know what it's strong against and weak to now, though. So I'll just get the party sorted and I'll go again probably after the stream. To be honest, just chill out.
All
Which
right.
then leads to the final game, Forza Horizon 5.
You played for Horizon 5.
I've played Horizon 5.
Nice.
Got it on my nice. We got it on mine and Martin's shiny new Xbox Series S.
Oh.
Long story short, we paid much more over the odds for the console because we were just at an arcade during the holiday in Blackpool, where ticket machines and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
we got so close to earning them that we just did it, and I've got it. We weren't going to spend the tokens on anything else. I
Yeah.
say that. I think I've got. Uh, one sec.
Well, he's gone. I'll just try to think
Yeah,
of something to
yeah,
say.
I bought that. That's
Okay.
that last time I was on when I did the podcast with Steph.
Yeah, you said that. I
He,
remember seeing that podcast.
he's got an emergency meeting to go to, so
He was in our last emergency meeting. He's always got an emergency meeting.
roll where that came from. I think we won that from like they do like camel derbies where you got to roll the balls into the holes to make a camel go along a big track.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we didn't have many tokens left, so poop.
It's blurred.
Yeah,
You
get some
got poop.
focus.
It won't
I got
focus
poop.
it. It won't focus it because it thinks it's the background.
Yeah, and then there was like some like little card games, like an emoji flashcards. So like, they were names of films or songs, just using emojis as the titles and stuff like that. But yeah. So as that, I upgraded my Game Pass from Game Pass to PC to Ultimate, and yeah, I've just been playing Horizon 5 on the Xbox. I could just cloud game it and just do it on the PC as well, but
Hmm.
you know, it's all fine. So yeah, Horizon 5, pretty much everything you enjoyed about Horizon 4, but it's in Mexico instead of the UK. I
Wasn't the 4 in Australia or was that 3?
think 3 was in Australia.
Okay, so that's the last one I played.
The first two were set in America, I believe,
Yeah, I
and
don't know.
then yeah, 4 was set in the UK. And technically, for the story of Horizon, it carries on directly from 4.
Okay.
So you are now you were the superstar of the UK Horizon tour. So now
In Mexico.
you're becoming, yeah, you're in Mexico and you're already a superstar and everything's great. And I was actually discussing this with one of mine and Martin's mates regarding to it because he had a big issue with this, but I disagree and actually kind of enjoy it. So I discussed this with him. The unlocking or the progression system for unlocking cars is purely random.
Random.
Yeah.
Why would
Well,
they
I
make it
mean,
random?
well, every time you level up, you gain a wheel spin. That's key to the whole
Yeah, I've seen
Horizon
some
games from there.
TikToks of that.
Yeah, and then when you do the wheel spin, you get a chance of just getting a car or an emote or money or stuff like
But you
that.
can actually physically buy certain cars.
Yeah, if you get
So
enough
it's not
credits.
entirely random. That's what I was like. I was like, I remember
Oh yeah,
buying
it's not.
cars.
Yeah, sorry, I don't. Yeah, I mean, but I mean the fact that there's no rhyme or reason to unlock certain cars. You can buy any car you want. You could get anything that you want. There's no like restrictions. It's freedom. to do what you want, and that sort of put him off a little bit. It's like, why? Then why would you buy all the old crappy cars if you could just wheel spin a Lamborghini,
Yeah.
and stuff like that? And I sort of explained to him on there that the difficulty or like the classes for how the cars go during the game always takes into account the car that you're putting into the race anyway. So you're never going to be putting in a Lamborghini, which they call like S1 class.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not going to end up in a
The
race with a
the
whole bunch of B
classes
class
are
cars.
based on how much horsepower, torque, and all that, like all the specs of the car.
Yeah,
So the stock Lamborghini is going to be a much higher drive class than those
yeah,
really shitty cars. But you can make some of those really shitty cars a pretty high drive class.
yeah. But the way that will then always work is that when you race with an S1 class car, all the drivatars, as they call them, they will all drive the same class car that you've entered. So an
Yeah.
S1 will always be up against S1s, and then if you if you did the same race but with a B class car, they would all be B class cars. So, it's the idea that from what I can see, the key part of Horizon is they just wanted a game, or Playground Games just wanted a game where you could just jump in, drive a car, and do whatever the hell you wanted. And it's I feel that does well in the sort of this saturated sandbox genre that there is. It works for that game. There's no, you do get to unlock like little bits of story, and you can do the big races. Those haven't changed in there. The Colossus, the the big end of season races, the Goliath, and all that business. That's in there. The Eliminators back in this game. It's still as janky as ever. The servers are still a little bit
The
buggy. So
what?
the Eliminator was a battle royale that was added into Horizon 4.
Yeah, I didn't play
At
Horizon
the at
Force.
the at the height of battle royale, Forza wanted to get in on we could do a battle royale. And in 4, the idea was that there was 60 drivers and
That's a
you'd
lot of
spawn,
drivers.
yeah. You'd spawn where you'd want in the UK on the map, and you would all start as a Mini Cooper, the worst car in the game.
Okay.
So yeah, your old
And
1950s Mini Cooper. And there would be drops on the map that you could then upgrade the car to, better cars as you went along. And the way that you would eliminate people in this was if you either stayed out of the arena too long, just like a battle royale game, or you challenge someone to a race, and you basically just drive up to them, flash your headlights. The game would determine a point for you to race to. First one gets there, wins.
hmm,
Loser gets eliminated.
it's kind of a neat
And at that point,
idea.
yeah, at that point you get to take their car or just upgrade your car to the next level. And then once there were like between 10 and 15 people left, um, the game would then spawn you all together, give you one final point to go to. First person to get there wins the eliminator.
Yeah.
Same thing in this one. They've just changed it to make sure that you had a car that was more known in Mexico. So in this point, you just get an old Volkswagen Vocho Beetle, and that's your small car. Now, the reason I say it was buggy as fuck was because I was in a race. Oh, I was in an eliminator. Everything was fine. Found myself a nice level 5 car. Everything was great. Hadn't seen a driver the whole time. Hadn't seen a driver. Suddenly, I get challenged out of nowhere by someone. Still didn't see him. Never existed. And they got to a point. There was a point-to-point race. I absolutely hammered this person, who didn't exist, of course. Got to the finish line. It didn't recognise I got to the finish line. I had to sit there for 90 seconds. It timed out and eliminated us both.
Oh.
I've not been in an eliminator since, and just hope that it's been fixed. But it put me off, basically.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm loving Horizon. It's just great. I just like I don't have to race around the same 6 race car tracks over and over again
Yeah.
and
Well, that's
realistic
nice.
damage and all that stuff. I just like to get a car, absolutely book it across Mexico, find a danger sign and jump 500 meters off it, and then watch the car just career down a hill and then respawn it, and all the bumper scratches are gone.
Yeah. So is that
So
everything
with
you've
that,
played?
yeah, that's everything. I've finally got that all off my chest.
So that means we're gonna move on to our favorite topic that we didn't get last week because it came in the day after, like usual.
As is tradition.
Yeah.
Here
So
it comes, everyone. It is
that's
time
it is time
for
for what the fuck, Blizzard.
what the fuck, Blizzard. Or as I tried to call it, because as I was saying, someone's like, do you remember? It's like, why do you call it what the fuck Blizzard? It's it's not just Blizzard, it's Activision and King and all that. It's like, yeah, but W2FABK doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Yeah. And yeah, what
Hence,
the fuck Blizzard
and
works.
yeah,
And
and
most of it
most of the
has
stuff
to do.
started off in Blizzard.
Yeah. Well, most of
Except what?
Activision's employees are based for Blizzard.
Yeah, but
Blizzard's their
oh
biggest.
my god, where do we start? Yeah, well, we start at the beginning, I guess.
Yeah, we'll start with
No,
the thing
not
that.
all the way back at the beginning. Just assume we're assuming that you already know the shit that's happened with Blizzard over the past few months, Cosbury
Yeah.
Suite and all that bollocks. Wow. Wall Street Journal investigative journalists.
Is this the Bobby Noddick one?
Yeah, the Eurogamer one is the source for this because unfortunately the Wall Street Journal article is paywalled, and I didn't sign up for it. But a lot of the Eurogamer article explains the key points that were in the journal article from there. Whoo-wee. So let's start with this. Bobby Kotick pretended, basically, that he was unaware of all the sexual harassment and abuse that was going on between Activision and Blizzard and the associated companies. And it's like, how thick are you to not notice that this was happening underneath your nose? Well, turns out,
He was part of it.
he was, yeah, absolutely. He was part of it. He was implicit in it. He knew it was happening, and basically pulled the old, "What are you gonna do?" tricks. Some of the stuff on this allegations, for example, according to this Eurogamer article, which we have sourced in the chat, um, allegations made by a Sledgehammer Games employee that a male supervisor had raped her in 2016 and 17 after pressured into consuming too much alcohol in the office. We know that this was a thing because it happened in Blizzard.
Yeah.
The cube crawls.
Ugh.
That'd come up. There was another. There was one that happened in like early in the year, about like 16 years ago, where Bobby Kotick had sent a voicemail to this member of staff, this female member of staff, threatening that he would have her killed,
Wow. This
which
is
which he
pretty fucked
which
up.
he regretted. Uh,
Of course he
so
regretted
that all
it
happened.
because he's gonna get in shit for it.
Yeah. So basically, he was involved with a lot of high-profile ones. One in particular, to quote from the Eurogamer article, Kotick is also said to have been aware of allegations aimed at Dan Bunting, co-head of Activision's Call of Duty studio Treyarch, in which a female employee accused Bunting of sexually harassing her after a night of drinking in 2017. An internal investigation in 2019 reportedly recommended Bunting was fired, but Kotick intervened to keep him. It's like, no, we got to keep him here. We got to keep him here. So it actually turns out that one of the other bits of news, see the one about Call of Duty studio head quits after sexual harassment accusation report? The one of the Polygon links?
That's not the one that I had ready.
Sorry,
Yes.
I apologize. It
You
just
jumped
came up
one.
because it was,
Yeah, I
yeah,
got it.
it was. So yeah, that one. Dan Bunting no longer is the co-head of Treyarch because the Wall Street Journal basically asked for his right of reply. He had a right of reply in regards to the accusations, and rather than respond to those accusations, fucked off.
That's a great way. No.
Yeah, no comment. I quit. See you later.
Well, I guess I kind of understand it with all that shit going on. I'm not fucking staying around that company.
Yeah, but
But
if he
it
was
does.
if he was the guy being investigated for the sexual harassment, and he just
It doesn't
goes,
look very good.
peace.
It doesn't look very good on his state, but I would
No.
have left and been like, I'm not sticking with a company that's going through this. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
At least try to make yourself look not guilty.
Yeah. It was like, you
I'm not
know,
gonna stand for this. I'm out of here.
yeah, I would like to investigate. Use that right of reply that you've been given
Yeah,
by, by the paper in question, and just do it. But no, just upped and left immediately.
of course you did.
Just gone. Bye. So that had happened. So is there any other stuff that had come up on?
Well, there's the two things for the Bobby Nodic. Uh, the Blizzard walkout, all the people.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. So as a result of this giant bombshell piece of journalism, um, the oh God, who are they called? What was it? The
Uh,
ABK Workers Alliance. So this is the other Polygon one. So yeah, Activision Blizzard workers walk out, call for CEO Bobby Kotick's resignation. So yeah, pretty much within hours after this report, 150 people showed up to protest at the Blizzard campus due to a call to arms by the ABK Workers Alliance, basically the mini. I'd hesitate to say union because they're not an official union, but it's about as close to a union as you can get in the video games
yeah, no,
industry.
a workplace union basically instead of
Yeah,
a full-on union.
yeah.
Hello,
So they
Stefan.
basically just turned around and said, "No, we're not standing for this. You said you were going to try and fix this. We didn't believe you. This just confirms why we didn't believe you. We're walking out again." So that had all happened, and then oh dear me, Ooh, I
Dying
got
over
the
there.
burps myself. I got the burps myself. That's just
Too
a
much of
thing.
that zero there. Won't say the brand
Yeah,
name part of it.
too much Coke Zero.
Oh, you said it.
Oh well, damn it.
Free
Too
advertising.
much of
There you
this.
go, Coke.
Yeah. Too much of this zero sugared cola drink. Aspartame instead. Um. So yeah, so they all walked out. It went up to as high as 500, by the way, and there's currently a petition ongoing um, that is still asking for Bobby Kotick's head because, uh, annoyingly, the board has his back. See, I say that though, the board has his back. Could they possibly have his back? And I'm skipping ahead again here as well. It's one of the Kotaku links. Do you remember? Do you remember when the allegations initially came out with Blizzard, and there was the response from Activision, from the original COO, Fran Townsend, who basically said all these allegations are false and blah blah blah. This is just the media trying to get in the way of our running of our
Yeah.
business. That email that she absolutely sent out, she didn't fucking send it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Kotaku, Bobby Kotick actually wrote Fran Townsend arranged company-wide email.
Where's this? Yeah, I don't think you've.
I don't think I gave you the link. Sorry. I will give you the link, and then I will also just put it in the when I can
If you
find
just put the
where I
source in, I can pull it up.
yeah, yeah, I'll put the source in. Sorry, I forgot about that. There we go. So yeah, it actually turned out that he has first approval on all executive level company wide emails that go out in Activision, and
So,
therefore he had basically wrote this email
did he write it, or
denying all the accusations.
does he
No,
just have?
he wrote. He has admitted that he wrote that email. That's in his long list of regrets. And the guy has
Oh,
more regret. The guy has more regrets
yeah, but just
than
because he
I have.
says he admits to it doesn't mean that he wrote it. They
Yeah.
might just be
But
using him to take the brunt
well,
of it. They
no,
might have
yeah,
offered him
because
some
what's
money
happened
for it
is
or something.
what happened. Fran Townsend is not a savior in this discussion. She's got a sin list as high as any Cinema Sins video. But yeah, he threw her under the bus for this one. It was signed in her name, but it was his email.
Oh,
And so there's a lot of doubt in any official spokesman message, any PR response coming out. Because at the end of the day, and I'll say it this is basically what it's come down to. Bobby Kotick has investigated the actions of Bobby Kotick and has found no wrongdoing by Bobby Kotick.
Of course.
That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
In a sentence, that the guy has got too much power in this, and so unless shares plummet, unless it hits the board's bottom line, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing. And by the fact that he's not been sacked already in response to all these accusations, when anyone else would have even pissed up a wall,
Yeah. Hi, Martin.
they would have been
He's
gone. Oh
back.
yeah, hi mine. Hold on, wait for it. Hold on, give us 1 sec. 3, 2, 1.
Bye, Martin.
There we go. Oh, I just got something kicked along at me then, but yeah, it's fine. So also, yeah, actually, I'll leave that last one there. So back to the Polygon ones. Remember Jen O'Neill, one of the co-owners or the new co-chiefs of Blizzard, along with Mike Ibarra. She resigned only 3 months into the job.
Sure.
Yeah, she actually wanted to resign 1 month into the job.
Why was that?
Yeah, that whole idea of being co-chief owner of Blizzard gave her the absolute perks of not being as paid as much as the male co-chief of Blizzard.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
And yeah,
Welcome to
and
the world we live in.
yeah, she was apparently also affected by a lot of the harassment that was going on in regards to the company. Being female and gay, and given Blizzard's tolerance towards that part of the diversity spike. In terms of the higher ups, I should say that in regards to the lower ends of the devs and everyone on the same idea, that was shouldn't be out of the way. Inclusivity and diversity should be there the entire time.
Yeah. That
That's
should have nothing to
it
do with
should.
anything.
Yeah, the fact that this is being said that this is something that needs to happen is a problem in itself because it should just already be happening and shouldn't be a big bombshell that someone's there. It's like, oh yes, here's our first female gay Blizzard co-leader. It shouldn't fucking matter.
Yeah. No.
That's
I guess. Yeah. Like I understand companies. They say it, but they're usually when they say it, they're usually trying to.
tick boxes.
Yeah. Basically, they're not doing it. They're doing it for press. They're doing it
Yeah,
for the public eye.
yeah.
And then as soon as they say it, it's to try to make themselves look good, but you automatically now know that that's why they're doing it,
Mm,
which is
yeah,
bullshit.
yeah. It's just mad. It's just bad. It's just very bad. And this then leads to one final piece. Again, I'll put it in the source because this one I just sprung on you on the last one. It's another Kotaku one. Report. Another Wall Street Journal report, actually. Bobby Kotick had met with executives and senior managers and has stated, or according to this report, that he would consider quitting if he can't fix the company's culture.
He's part of the culture.
How? Yeah, one, he's part of it, and two, how long do you fucking need?
Yeah.
This has been going
Well,
on for years.
yeah. I
I
get.
mean, sure, he's been caught over the last year.
Yeah. But you also have to remember if he's trying to change it now, there's only so many people he can get rid of without really impeding the business.
Mm-hmm.
But you could put
He'll
strict guidelines
grab
in.
the scruff of his own neck and
Yeah. But yeah, if he's part of the culture, then it's never going to change with him there.
yeah, no,
Because
exactly.
he's
And
not going to. You can't see wrong if you're the one that's also doing that wrong.
yeah,
Because you just see it as normal.
yeah,
So,
and it shouldn't be normal, but
no.
that's the problem. And we look into this. There are other game companies being investigated or have had issues with harassment. One of them is one that we probably shouldn't be giving as leniency as I don't want to say leniency. We should be giving it just as short shrift as anyone else. Riot and Ubisoft. We've mentioned both of them right previously in this.
They've had
You know,
problems.
yeah, Ubisoft with their massive, with their having to get rid of a lot of high executive level or sort of lead developers of projects, and Yves Gimot just going la 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 la. I can't hear you. There was nothing going on. Nothing going on. My family business needs to remain my family business. Thank you. That's one. Riot are still being investigated for harassment. They're in a court case at the moment. What Riot have managed to this is bad that this is being said though, but what Riot have managed to do is build an empire that's cross media, and collaborate with other companies, that have better cultures than them to make high quality products and TV,
That doesn't
games and
fix.
TV.
That doesn't
It
fix
doesn't
anything.
fix the Riot problem. No, no, you're right. And if it gets called out, and it does get called out by people, it still needs to be said.
And
There's
then you
still a
drag
lot to
them down
fucking do at
too.
Riot. Yeah, well, yeah. There's
You
that.
muddy
I mean,
their
there's a
water
lot of people
anyways.
on that. Yeah. Um, and that's sort of just come out in regards to that as well. But there is a sign. There's sort of a difference between what Riot has done and what Ubisoft and Blizzard have done. I'm not forgiving any of them. Just to confirm on that. I don't want to. Well, I'm not going to say forgive. Obviously, I've seen some people go on the idea. But Ryan, you and your website are doing a review show, hyping up a cross media TV series that has now become the best rated thing on IMDb. Yeah, I have, but I can look into that. Is that I don't want to be dragging down the French animation studio and the musical artists and voice actors that have worked on that show
Yeah,
just because it's got Riot's name on it,
and
and the idea that I should just sort of
not
cancel
everybody
all of it.
there, not everybody there is bad.
Yeah,
And if they make a good product, you're still going to use it until it gets to the point where everything is bad. Like if it's
yeah,
everything's bad, that's totally like if everybody's corrupt at a company or something, then okay, you're not going to use their product.
yeah.
But there's always going to be some bad people in this world,
hmm
and at least if they're making actions to right these actions, then they're
Yeah. Get rid of the bad actors, restructure the business, and then everything's
yeah,
fine. We've got to give them the opportunity to do something like that. Now, and if it fails to work, like what seems to be happening with Activision, burn the thing down.
start over.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can get rid of the bad actors, get trust again, get that goodwill back, and make sure that the situations that caused them to be investigated that badly in the first place don't happen again, and so be it. And at that bit, it might be small, it still might be that there's a lot more work to do, but Riot on that idea do look like it's been done. Of course, like everyone else, I would like to see the change happen.
Yeah,
I don't want promises, I like results.
yeah.
But they're
We want to
closer
see
to results
movement.
than Activision and Ubisoft are.
Yeah, we want to see movement towards the greater good.
Yeah.
We don't want to
So
see we want to see some positive news and it getting more positive and more positive over time rather
mhm,
than just negative 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 negative.
yeah. So, that's how that works. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, what the fuck Blizzard will not be going anywhere.
Probably not. We might even have to
No.
make a little cutscene for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. We really should have done that well beforehand. I
Yeah.
should just get like a title sequence. We got the intro and the outro. I'm sure we could have just had something that just had Bobby Kotick's face there, and just when we said "what the fuck," replace the fuck with a duck.
Yeah.
You know, is it just like "what the whack" Blizzard? But yeah, that's just how that works. So we're gonna wrap this up with some good news. First of all, boy, my new shirt it came today. Look, what does it look to be? Oh yeah, that's right. It's a Desert
Of
Bus
course it's a desert
2021
bus.
T-shirt.
That's blurred.
Uh, yeah, because it's just the focus. It focuses on my face, and that's
It blurs
and that's
everything
the bit
else.
where we
Yep.
want to see. Yeah, blurs absolutely everything else. But yeah, the recent Desert Bus charity marathon ended Saturday morning my time
I didn't even know it was
this
on.
week.
I'm so depressed.
Oh, well, it's all still there on their Twitch channel, and every highlight has been uploaded onto their YouTube channel. So that's all there to go for. But they went to race. They bussed for 6 days and 23 hours.
Holy, that was a long one.
So yeah, nearly a whole week, and they raised in total. This is in American dollars. I should have tried to convert this
US dollars is
into
good.
Canadian and then into UK from there. But you want to know how much they raised, Terry?
Sure.
$1,188,643
Just from
during the
the
live
one?
run.
Wow.
Um, so this means it's the first time they've beat a million
In a
during the live run.
yeah.
When they finished last year, it was at 989,000
Oh,
or something like that. But then all the merch stuff came in afterwards, and it hit over a million. So this is the first time that it's happened
during
live.
the
So
live,
to
yeah.
take that into to take that into perspective, then I want to actually just see this in. Let's just say GBP. So hold on, maybe I should actually.
That'd be about
There we go.
100 1
So
point.
it's 887,262,057 pence
Yeah. How much was that total?
as 1,188,643.
That'd be about $1.5 million Canadian, I'm guessing.
You were really not that far off. $1,509,636.04.
I spent a few days in the US. I think I know what my dollar's worth.
So you got a bit of conversion on there. So yeah, so that's probably going to get closer to 1.25 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 1.25 mil by the time everything
All the
like
merch and
check
everything.
stuff all gets
All yeah.
calculated. But that's just mad. And
The
now
late
considering
donations
they
and stuff
did,
too.
yeah, considering they did have a couple of issues. I can't buy stuff off the Loading Ready Run store. Loading Ready Run are the company that use or that do the Desert Bus
Yeah.
fundraiser or initially organised it. A lot of their merch, their charity merch for Desert Bus, has to go through the Loading Ready Run store, and I'm locked out of that because I'm a member of the UK, and the UK, in their infinite fucking wisdom, changed VAT rules and made it sure that companies outside of the UK had to be responsible for collating VAT internationally. Which
VAT
in
is like
Canada,
taxes.
yes, value added tax is what we call it. So it's like a flat 20% on any
Yeah.
item, any non-essential item bought in the UK has to happen there. But we, in our infinite wisdom, even though we're buying from a fucking international store, they had to then calculate VAT. And according to the guy running it, there is no ability to calculate that. So just rather than end up with tax evasion crimes happening and shit like that, lock them out of the store until it can be fixed.
Yeah.
And I absolutely understand that.
Yeah, because
Same
they
has
don't
happened
want to
with the
be.
EU as well, though. It's happened with the EU because of the way that they do export and import fees, which is separate to the VAT issue. So no one in the EU or the UK can buy off the store at the moment. As he made a joke at the end of it, though, oh, if you're in Norway, sorted. Yes, you're absolutely happy to buy stuff on there. I was considering at one point speaking to you and just trying to sort something out. Maybe to get an order on your behalf, or like on my behalf. You
Yeah.
could order it because you would have access to the store, and then we'd do a thing. But what he's then said afterwards is he's going to be holding stock intentionally for UK and EU only purchases
To sort it out.
to sort that out once it's all sorted. So
Well,
I'll just take that into account.
if it
But
comes up, then yeah, I
yeah,
can definitely help out.
but yeah, that was a fucking good run. I loved it, and I love the shirt actually as well. Bought it before
They
the old
changed the
classic. It's
style, which
like
is nice.
they change the style every year.
Yeah, but the other ones were all sort of very similar.
Mm. There's a couple. I mean, I like this one. The colours as well, because generally they have been sort of like a lavender or blue.
Yeah.
Like one, so it's the first one that's actually arrived in a green, which I actually quite like. I don't usually wear green; it's usually blue or black, and
Yeah, but
that's
that's a
that's
dark
sort of
enough
where.
green that it
Yeah.
works.
So yeah, enjoying that, and yeah. So like I said, they had those troubles, and then of course there's still this idea of COVID, particularly in Canada. Is like there's still a bit iffy about from what it looks like, especially in sort of indoor and televisual experiences, of social distancing still being a major sort of thing. So there was still no way they could do what they used to do for Desert Bus, which is pile 30 to 35 people in one single room.
Yeah, no, we're
So
still
the
pretty strictly locked down on that aspect.
Yeah, so I think they had to do this hybrid streaming system. So 2 of the shifts were remote and 2 were in studio. Um, so still had that sort of thing, but obviously it's clearly not hindered them in any way, shape, or form
Nope,
because
they did pretty good.
me. I mean, especially I loved how it ended. I was there when they went and hit the million as well. Just one of the guys in there just turned around and said, "There's 5,000 people in the chat. We're at 975,000 now. So if all of you just donated a fiver, we'd hit that." And they had like 10 minutes to go before the shift ended, and it
And
was
then
just
all of
like
a sudden,
6 minutes. So yeah, that was fun. So yeah, we needed to report on some good gaming stuff at the end there, just to wipe the
yeah,
taste of
the sour
oh,
milk out of our mouths.
sour cotic milk. Yeah.
All right.
So but yeah, I think that's everything though, isn't it, Terry?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So, if you like what you've
Cool.
seen, like, follow, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. Post us on your
Hmm.
social medias and stuff. And yeah, audio versions are available everywhere you get podcasts.
Yep, absolutely everywhere. I made sure of that.
Yeah.
Even the places where you wouldn't expect to get podcasts, which is sometimes weird.
Anywhere that there's a
Um,
podcast, we're there. We've stuck our nose in every little aspect.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So
And as I
yeah,
slowly
that's
lose
just it
daylight,
from us.
well, daylight's gone, but I've lost pretty much all of my light now.
Oh
Because I
yeah,
have,
my daylight had gone about 5-6 hours ago, so don't worry about it.
yeah, well, if I turn on the light in this room, I will go pitch black pretty much, because the light's directly behind me. Actually, here.
Ah,
Hey, Google,
oh wait,
turn on the light. And there
go
we
for
go.
it. Yeah, yeah.
So, well, it sort of, it doesn't,
I say that. Look what happens if I move my big fat head here. One sec.
yeah. Yours doesn't change because it's out of focus, though, but
Yeah, but look, this is a total Ryan eclipse. One sec.
yeah, now you can see all the stuff in my background. Before, it actually worked out as a good black background, but all right, everybody. Have a good one.
Yeah, we're gonna peace out. Laters.
Bye. Well, that was a bit of a glitch. I kind of spammed it a whole bunch of times.
We've actually found the intro to the outro. Don't worry about it though.
Oh wait, our audio's going.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Hi.